Hey guys, and welcome back to the Ducks and Dogs podcast. My name is Mike, here again with my co-host Matt. How you doing today, Matt?
It's hate week, man. I'm all sorts of hyped up right now.
For what are you hating? Like Oregon or Washington or Jimmy Lake or all three?
Yes. Yes.
So, and today we have a special guest in B-Stro, Oregon super fan and Duck Twitter legend. We had him on this episode. This is our second take recording this episode. So thank you for coming on, B-Stro. And Mike Black, as everybody on Duck Twitter knows, is an idiot.
First of all, fam, I am no legend. I am no super fan. I am just a fan like everybody else.
How many
good, fam. You know, everybody has technical, issues every once in a while. I'm not tripping. You already know I'm always down to talk Ducks football. So,
Side note,
we get to talk, my man Matt, about the Huskies a little bit.
Anyone who wants to do a podcast, always remember, press record when you are, doing everything, and it helps a lot.
Yeah.
Also, regular fan, how many people have asked to take pictures with you, Mr. Regular Fan?
I honestly don't have an honest amount.
But it's more than one, ain't it?
You know what's so crazy is
it's more than one.
Like, fam, I actually had a softball player's mom recognize me. And I had this lady whose husband is like a major board member for Wiener Schnitzel recognize me.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. Bro.
And I'm like,
regular fan, my ass.
I am, because I'm a modest guy.
Regular fans get tours of the facilities by Rob Mosley.
I
know.
Like, fam, I am, but I mean, it's dope, no lie. But I mean, I just appreciate it, it's
sure.
appreciative of it, for sure.
But you thought of in a different level of Duck fans. So there's a scale. There's the worst Duck fans at LaMike Black. There's the best Duck fans at Stromino1.
Like, bro, I've been in the athlete shoes, so being that I've experienced it, I just take more so of a straight fan approach, passionate about it, but I also understand, like, I don't have any control in this, man.
Yeah.
None whatsoever. And I just hope to see my team perform to the best of their ability, and whatever the coaches see fit best for the team. I'm hope, he's right. I hope they execute, and I hope we get a W, beat the Huskies.
I'm the same way, but I think it's obviously all personality based. I'm more loud and obnoxious and arrogant and in your face, and that's how I am as a fan. And obviously, like I said when we were recording the first time, a lot of it is exaggerated for jokes because it's funny. But that's how a lot of people in Florida are too. It's just like it's a different culture. It's how you raise it. I hate to say this. Being raised in SEC country, they care so much more about football that when we're talking shit in high school, we're talking shit about football. Like that's what we're talking shit about. The entire in middle school, we were still talking shit. We probably talking shit about Call of Duty and 2K. Nah, in high school it's Florida State sucks ass. Bum. And that's how shit go. Or if you were playing ball like I was for a while, I was supposed to play at Portland State. I threw a fit pretty much and quit like a stupid idiot, like I mentioned. But yeah, when you're playing ball too, it's like, hey, you ass. Like it's no good game shit. Like, nah, everyone trying to go get them offers, and I'm trying to whoop your ass to go get that shit too. Like it ain't none of that. And I pissed some people off. Nick Pickett being the one who comes under my stuff the most. Nick, if Nick is watching this by chance, Nick, love what you did for Oregon. Seemed like a great dude. I understand why you get pissed off at me, but don't take me that serious. I'm a random dude in Florida on Twitter. Y'all take me so serious. So serious. Like, bro, I got motherfuckers like Michael James, Sabrina Ionescu, fucking Nick Pickett, bro. And then it's funny, everybody in the comments saying you a nobody. Why the fuck everyone replying to a nobody? I don't understand.
You got LaMichael, you got Pickett and Sabrina responding
all the time, bro. I get fucking
Sabrina, I can't get a response. Look, Kelly Graves won't follow me.
See, what had happened was, Stro, I'm sure you're aware of this. Matt, you're all too aware of this. I made an Oregon Mount Rushmore and I said sports, but it was very clearly football based. So it did not mention Prefontaine or Sabrina Ionescu.
Yeah, that went over well.
Oh, you asking to get stoned. You
I ain't even mean it like that, man. They just took
Public enemy number one right there.
Dude, you asking to get stoned, fam. If you ever in your life say Mount Rushmore and Oregon sports in the same sentence, if you don't have Sabrina, Prefontaine, and Mariota in there somewhere, bro, they gonna stone you like you are in the Middle East. Excuse my reference, they gonna beat the dog. I'm just being honest, bro. Like I'm just being honest, man.
I feel like I'm in a South Park episode right now.
Oh
what the fuck is
God.
going
I'm
on?
just being honest, bro. Like it's all love. Like I love my people that's from the Middle East. Like I don't want no beef. Like I love y'all, bro. But I'm just,
you, bro.
But like you know what you asking for when you push them buttons, bro. You know that.
But I ain't mean it like all that, bro. Like, that's not what I wasn't trying to get stoned, bro. Like, but I tweet that out. Dead ass. So many people were in my mentions. And you know what's funny? Like, even if not just fans, even if they're like former players, athletic directors, directors of player personnel, they either really love me or they really hate me. No two ways about it. Like fucking
What kind of person you are, man.
Anybody over the age of 40 fucking hates me and saves pictures of me and my girlfriend and posts them on Twitter. Why? Who knows? Weird people. But
dude, you said something bad about their favorite sports team. It's completely justified.
Bro, yeah, then they DDoS me with the information in my pin tweet.
Oh, God.
Bro, what are y'all on, bro?
Yeah,
like,
nice take. I know your IP address, dude. Like,
so, like what's up there? what's
like
that's
grown.
We
gotta accept the responsibilities for the shit you do.
Like you said off air, man. That address is literally in that motherfucking pin tweet.
Pull up. Pull up.
Hey, meet me at the Chevron around the corner, fam.
You ain't lying. I had somebody reply to a tweet I made about Brown and said that they see me at Austin, they'll slap me. I said, I wish you would, bro. Yeah, I wish you would.
Boy, ooh-wee.
Oh, listen, bro.
That's whoa.
Goofy white.
They said they gonna slap this. They said pull up the Austin, he getting slapped. Oh my.
hey, what was that energy they was on Twitter talking about everything going down with Nick up there in Seattle? Bro, what was that energy? What that video I said of our sheriff out here? We will shoot you, bro. Stop playing.
Lag said yeah. We will shoot you. Hey,
bro, I'm not like, you know, it's all cool. I mean, obviously, you know, if anyone meets me in person, I'm obviously, you know, me and Stro are the opposite of fan on Twitter. We vibe pretty well. So like, just because I tweet crazy shit, like y'all like me better in person probably. But if you is talking reckless on Twitter, suck my dick.
And some people use Twitter just to get a rile out of people, bro. Like people talk about trolls. Like people say trolls exist. Like fam, you know what you're dealing with. So when you engage, you know the actions and the reactions you're supposed to get.
You know what?
So you can't really be upset about it.
You know what Owen told me to do?
What?
Print out every tweet of a check mark replying to me and quote tweeting me and all that shit and pin it on the wall behind me for the setup.
Dude, get verified. Get yourself verified. You see how many people with check marks reply to me? Verify me.
Bro,
they talk to me. Verify me.
You know what's funny? I just started talking to one of our guys at Berkshire Hathaway, and apparently I can get verified if I send in the paperwork. Because of my job. That should be funny as
Do you know how much that would piss people off? You need to do it. You need to.
Much.
Dude, you need verified, bro. That'd be hilarious.
Bro,
don't lie.
It's gonna be it'd be so funny, bro. I'd laugh my ass off.
I just sit back and observe and say, damn.
Like they said, just like the tweets I made about Brown. I know I see you liking some of the replies and shit. I see you lurking. You don't ever say shit.
I'm like, bro, what is this? I'm like, bro, these dudes is going at it, bro. And this is my whole thing with Brown, fam. And the same thing with Washington and Jimmy Lake. People got to understand this is Mario's first head coaching job since FIU,
which he shouldn't have been fired from.
This is Jimmy Lake's first head coaching job at this level ever.
See,
so Mario was handed a Justin Herbert and a Troy Dye. You get the benefit of those 3-year starters as leaders of your team, and they buy in.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Lake was handed the most talented roster in the Pac-12 and the, I believe, Pac-12 champions.
Well, they went to Pac-12 champions when he got the roster.
Was he? Were they? When did Homeboy retire? CP.
Like a couple of years ago.
28. Yeah, bro. I'm
was
dumb.
It was 2019. 2019.
Was it 19?
Yeah. It was after 19. Yeah.
Then I'm tripping, but he got composite wise. I'm pretty sure UW was more talented than Oregon at that time. At least blue chip ratio.
They're at least up there. They were definitely top 50.
He got handed a super talented roster that was recruiting well, and everybody thought was trending in the right direction. And it was supposed to be a seamless transition. The whole staff was set up. Everything was set up. Ready to go. Lake takes over, recruiting goes to shit. On-field results are going to shit. And even last year, when you thought things were positive, they played every game at home and struggled against Oregon State when they should have lost, given the calls that they got. And they should have probably lost another game or two then. I vouched for Lake many a times when they first struggled in the beginning of the season. Matt can vouch for that. I've said Jimmy Lake's a good dude, good X's and O's coach, but there's no excuse for the amount of a pitfall that this program has been since he's took over as a head coach for what's supposed to be a seamless transition. He made the wrong offensive coordinator hire. Everybody knows that was the wrong offensive coordinator hire. The defensive coordinator hire might not be the best hire either. He's just getting masked by elite cornerbacks. He's done nothing that I could see right, and then this quote adds on to that.
Yeah.
Well, the quote doesn't do him any justice, but when you look at Jimmy Lake had the most talented roster, but Jimmy Lake went from being the assistant DC to being the head coach. Never been a head coach before. Now, granted, how many years was he under Chris?
He was pretty long.
Yeah,
they were setting that up for a while too, though.
That was what they've been saying, but the thing is it happened sooner than people expected.
Yeah.
That's
Chris Peterson retiring came out of right field when it happened.
It was like when people were saying Mac Brown was going to give up the reins to Will Muschamp. This is the reverse of what should have happened. Like Mac Brown should have been gone when Muschamp was said the head coach in waiting, and Chris Peterson should be staying a little bit longer to help Jimmy. Like this is a dynamic, like it should have happened backwards. And the OC hire, it hurt him. It set him back.
I think because it's on the hot seat.
I wouldn't say he should be on the hot seat because this is his first OC hire. And if you get rid of Jimmy Lake, you're going to set yourself back. LSU setting themselves back. Fam, when you won the national championship in 2019/2020, COVID happens. First of all, people take COVID and think COVID was just another season because, you had teams that played full schedules, but not everybody was on the same playing field of off-season workouts, fall camps, installations, all of those things that you take into that. And then you think about now, you have teams who have players that were an extra year there who are playing better and making a splash in certain ways, like Baylor, OK State is benefiting from that. So you have all of these dynamics going into that, and you try to magnify it. And Jimmy Lake and Washington only played all their games at home. And when you watched Washington last year, they were a run-heavy team. When I say they were run-heavy, it was formations were run-heavy, run the ball, and Dylan was hitting you play-action pass. Dylan looked like a first-team all-conference quarterback last year. This year, the different approach was teams are going to expect us to run the ball. So, how about we try to counter that and be able to pass?
I wonder if
And
they
so,
saw the offensive line regression in camp, because their offensive line has obviously regressed. I wonder if they saw that, and that might be why they tried to throw the ball a little more.
but my thing is if your offensive line regressed in that sense, bro, you shouldn't be trying to pass the ball that much because your quarterback's going to get fucking killed.
Mhm.
just be honest.
And
Like,
Demo, he has had no chance to build confidence this season whatsoever, whether that's, the schemes or the line not blocking for him, which for the first half of the season, he was having a hard time getting the ball out in one piece.
In that too, like, and you have to think about that as a coach. Okay, what can my team do good? What can they do great? What should we stay away from?
Mm-hmm.
And when you think about Moorhead has, when you watch Moorhead's games, it's like he has a distinct plan for every aspect of the game.
Yeah.
And so for Washington, you have really good running backs.
Yeah.
Your receiving core is a little bit depleted because of the transfers, but you still got some good receivers.
They're still really talented. Yeah.
Yeah, you still got some good receivers. Auden is one of the best tight ends in the Pac-12, if
Obviously,
not the best tight end.
Country. Yeah.
He should be in the top. I mean, if the offense put up better numbers and went to him more, he would probably be, tops probably up for the Mackey for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's the dynamic for them. What worked for you last year?
Can I offer this little counterpoint? Well, a side note, Kwiatkowski was the correct hire if they were going to make anybody else the head coach. But aside from that, so we could take that, shove that to the side. That's just my opinion. Kwiatkowski's a top 5 defensive coordinator in college football. Jimmy Lake was a co-defensive coordinator, but most people gave Kwiatkowski the credit for most of that. Obviously, Jimmy Lake's an elite DBs coach. However, I know you mentioned the COVID. I know you mentioned all that, but why is it that there are other coaches who succeeded during that? Say Jonathan Smith, say Matt Campbell, say all these other coaches who have programs who were in a worse position than Washington was thought to be in. How come they were able to elevate it, and Jimmy Lake took this program that was expected to be top 15 team, one of the better rosters in the conference, and now is plummeting them to the point where it looks like they can't even land top 30 classes. They can't even stay on the field and beat Montana. They struggle to score a touchdown last week against Stanford. They like this
rough game against Arizona.
Arizona. And I told Matt, he said the biggest thing for him, the red flag for him was losing to Montana. I told Matt the biggest red flag, we were talking about this with Josh Pate and all them. Ben Roberts and Sir Mel's get offered or visit Oregon, and less than 24 hours later, they're decommitting from Washington. Yeah. And everyone knows where they're going. Like, there's Jimmy Lake, great X's and O's coach. The culture at Washington isn't set, and he doesn't have the dominant enough personality to lead one of those premier programs. Washington wants to be a premier program. You've got to have energy. Nick Saban has energy when he needs to have it. Kirby Smart has energy when he needs to have it. Mario Cristobal has energy. What was one of the main issues with Clay Helton? Had no energy. People liked him, good guy, probably a solid X's and O's coach. People didn't like, he didn't have no energy, couldn't recruit. It's what's going on with Jimmy Lake. Mark Helfrich, great coach, nice guy. Not overly passionate, not really loud, not a dominant personality, couldn't recruit, fired. There's no instance. Jimmy Lake, I would say, in my opinion, if I was a Washington fan, I would want him gone. Just for the fact that if he stays there, this is what Matt and I were talking with Josh Pate about. If he stays there, are we sure that roster doesn't go from when he got there being a top 15 roster to when he leaves being a top 50 roster? Because they don't have any positive trends in recruitings. Josh Connerly went from one of their best, Josh Connerly went from a Washington lean to Washington is not being considered. There are 5 teams most people consider above Washington for a guy they were leading for 3 months ago.
Yep. And I mean, he was at the Michigan game visiting for Michigan when Washington played there and laid an egg. I mean,
and this is the thing too, is how much of the coaching holdover is from the Chris Peterson era there. Receivers coaches, running back coaches, O-line coaches. The DC left. He had to bring in a new DC with a new offensive coordinator.
New quarterbacks coach.
new quarterbacks coach, running backs, receiver. You got to find your right fit. Luckily for us at Oregon, Mario studied under Saban for so long, and he took that shit to heart. And then learning from the years of being at Miami, he's precise, strategic in his interviews.
I also hate to say it, Taggart set up a perfect staff. I hate to say Taggart set up a great staff at Oregon. They didn't follow him, and that was his demise at Florida State. Cristobal walks into this job with Jim Leavitt, a defensive coordinator.
Leavitt was a holdover. Him and Leavitt butted heads. That year we went to him and Leavitt, but that's why Leavitt dipped after that.
Okay, so you got Mastro, you got Salavea, you got Wilson who just went to Cal.
Mario hired all of them.
He hired all them? I thought Salavea was a co-offensive coordinator with Mario.
Like, a lot of the coaches left with Taggart, actually. Running backs coach, safeties coach, linebackers do. Like, a lot of them coaches from Oregon did with Taggart for him.
Did they? I thought that they didn't, because one of the guys with the closest relationship to Taggart was a Jim Leavitt.
If Joe Salavea came with Taggart, he stayed because of Mario.
Yeah. I know I would agree.
Because they all offered. Taggart offered the entire staff.
Yeah. He offered them all, but I believe a lot of them stayed because they believed in where the program was heading, and they thought that Mario would be a good coach. Obviously, the players thought that too. I'm not saying that Mario deserves none of the credit. No, I'm saying as much hate as Taggart gets, he did bring a really good staff to Oregon, and that staff showed you can recruit. They showed, they helped initiate the culture change that Mario just elevated and escalated to the max.
Oh yeah, I mean, and he has an idea and a plan of where he wants to get.
And he's a great hirer too. He's made great hires so far with.
And that's why I say he's strategic and he's precise with his interviews, and he'll interview dudes multiple times. The offensive coordinator for Pitt, the head coach for Arizona. The head coach for Arizona was almost our offensive coordinator last year, before Moorhead. Because I publicly lobbied for Moorhead to be our OC, because I don't think he got a fair shake in Mississippi State.
Neither do I.
And the same with Chad Morris. Chad Morris is up here coaching at Allen High School. And I think, SMU needed to go give him another shot, because he left to take the job at Arkansas. And Arkansas thought they were high and mighty and let him go. And
ain't been the same.
I mean, you got right back to basically where he was trying to get you, and he was only there a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Chad Morris got the same amount of time Taggart got, but Morris actually had the program going in the right direction. It's just he had to change the entire roster because you brought Brent Bielema to Arkansas, which was the dumbest decision ever. And I tell people, fam, you're playing in the SEC West. You are not going to be able to play between the tackles with LSU and Bama.
Yeah, no.
You got to do Ole Miss. Ole Miss spread the ball out, ran a spread, and was beating them teams.
Texas A&M, when they had Manziel, spread them out, beat them. Yep. You cannot beat them between the tackles lining up in the I formation. You are not going to beat them lining up in the A's-back formation and just running it up the middle. You are not going to beat them trying to run up the middle. You have to make them run east and west. Make them use their speed. Make them use their athleticism in space. Yep. Make them get tired. Make them think, and that's when they screw up.
Who laid the foundation for how to beat teams that are massively more talented than you and probably a better overall team than you? Chip Kelly. He said, hey, we're going to go play Michigan, who is one of the best rosters in the country, and fucking blow their doors off with trick plays and throwing it outside and running fast. We're going to go play Tennessee, who, albeit wasn't in their best state, was still one of the most talented rosters in the country.
They were good.
We're going to go out there, and we're going to run it to the outside. We're going to throw short screens, and we're going to make them look stupid. We're going to go play Cam Newton in the national championship and have a close game where we probably should have won. We're going to go out there. I'm not
the LSU game wasn't pretty.
Yeah. That LSU team, I think that LSU team is almost up there with the 2019 LSU team.
The Bakari's Mingo was a beast. And really bad.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to give Helfrich the credit for 2014. Chip Kelly's team went out there. Chip Kelly's scheme went out there and made Florida State look like absolute ass, defending champions with the reigning Heisman winner before the season came in. Made them look stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Like he laid the blueprint. If you're a less talented team, why are you going to try and go in the trenches with other teams that are more talented than you? Unless you're Iowa or Stanford, where you weirdly have massive human beings, you can't do that. Like it's not going to work.
Well, see, the thing is the dynamic is Bama's able to play in space now. So the team like Clemson, Dabo built that team completely. Like when I say completely, he had quarterbacks, receivers, running backs, O-line, D-line, linebackers, safeties, corners. And then at one point, his D-line was the best D-line in college football. Hell, the entire, five men from that D-line went in the first 3 rounds in the NFL draft.
Yep.
The following year.
Brian Breesy's a beast now, too.
You know, you got him. You still got Xavier over there, too. So Saban pinpointed the focal point of the trenches is key to winning the national championship on both sides. Once you get the trenches, then you branch out. Now, for Saban, people have to understand Mario was there when Saban was having game managing quarterbacks. These weren't guys just slinging it like Herbert. These were guys that was giving you 225 yards on 19 or 25, passing, and your running back got carried for 34 yards. He ran for 180 yards with 3 touchdowns. The backup ran for 15 carries for 175 yards with 2 touchdowns. And whoever this running back is was a 5-star last year, the 4-star with him, like they had stable of backs.
And when we're speaking of game managing quarterbacks, I do want to say to everyone who is all up in my mentions, Anthony Brown has been balling. He's playing great. And I'm going to tweet he's playing good when he's playing good. I'm going to tweet he sucks when he sucks. Deal with it. But we've seen a mini version of what you're explaining there just this season at Oregon. Obviously not at the massive scale, obviously. But we started this year. We had questions in the trenches. We found the offensive line rotation. Now the offense seems to be getting rolling. We worked to the middle. Once we got the trenches right, everything else is falling into place on the outside because you have the talent there. And eventually, once you get it right, it's going to start working. You just need those front 5 guys to play ball.
Yeah. And your quarterback has to trust him and he has to feel comfortable. The thing for us, when we went into Ohio State, we had the benefit of having CJ Verdell, which is probably one of the best running backs in the country. And if he wouldn't have got hurt, he probably would be one of the front runners for the Doak Walker Award. The dude ran for 177 yards at Ohio State and had 3 total touchdowns. And before the injury against before Stanford, he had almost 100 yards against Cal, almost 100 yards against Arizona. So he had the talents there, the O-lines there. And we leaned more so on CJ in that Ohio State game, and that's what's got us through.
Yep.
After that, we had to really lean on our quarterback. I'm not saying we don't lean on Travis Dye because Travis is getting a bulk of the carries, he's getting a bulk of the touches, but the quarterback's play is emphasized now because your star running back's out.
Yep.
And you can't just turn and give him the ball. You can give CJ Verdell the ball 20 times, 20 carries.
Give him 30 carries.
You give him 30 carries and give, Travis Dye another 15. But now Travis Dye is getting
24-ish, and you can't really do him
anywhere between 20 to 24 handoffs, and then you throw in another 5 or 6 passes. So he's getting 30 touches a different way.
What I think has really helped Brown, it seems like, obviously, like you said, we were leaning on the running back, then we were leaning on Brown. And I feel like more and more as these weeks continue to progress, we're going to do what USC's been doing in a sense and leaning on a star wide receiver to when something breaks down and, we need you to there's good coverage on the field. We need to win this one-on-one. We need a play here. Devin Williams past 2 weeks has been making them plays. That one, there was a pass last week where great coverage. Guy was in front of Devin. Somehow Devin comes down with the ball and it's a 30-yard gain for a first down when it seemed like we were about to stall out the drive. Like having somebody outside of Verdell making insane explosive plays, albeit Dye makes good plays almost every play. He's not the explosive factor. Having somebody making those explosive plays helps ease the pressure off of everybody else.
For sure. And I think with that also is they've mentioned it numerous times. Anthony and Devin are roommates. So they have that connection.
It's that chemistry.
And then also he's starting to gain more trust and more chemistry with the receivers as an entire core. Because he was able to the pass to Troy Franklin, first of all. That pass
was nice.
It was nice. And I'm sure they probably told him, don't you ever do that shit again in your life. You know, especially against Washington. Don't do that shit next week. No, don't you? Because
McDuffie gonna make you pay on that one.
McDuffie, Radley Hines, somebody back there going, somebody finna. Thank you.
You only throw in my opinion, you only throw those balls against Washington to Devin Williams.
Not even that, bro. I wouldn't even throw it across the middle like that.
Now the pass, the middle. I'm talking about contested catches. The only guy throwing to contested against Washington is Devin Williams.
Spencer Webb as well.
Is he playing a lot though?
Yeah, he's been playing. Spencer's been playing.
I thought T-Ford been getting most of the reps.
All of them. They've been rotating the tight ends. And honestly, and the thing for us too is we haven't really thrown that many jump balls, and we've got the tight ends to moss people like Stanford,
and we got large wide receivers too.
We got the receivers. So I mean,
Mario right does have an infatuation with 5'8" wide receivers, though.
I mean, you talking about Houston and Houston?
I'm more talking about the fact that Devin Williams there was 6 wide receivers starting for most of the year, and obviously in the 2 deep, and for most of the year none of them were Devin Williams even when he was healthy.
That was more so, like everybody said, that was more so something else behind the scenes that we can't control. Like
I never even saw anybody saying that, so I didn't.
No. It was a conversation that was had with some guys. I think it was a Spaces on Twitter. Like it was some things that that are out of people's control.
Gotcha.
When you go into a season, and some things you gotta sure up on the back end to make sure there's no issues.
Gotcha. See, I didn't know that. All I see is 6 wide receivers on the 2 deep, and none of them are Devin Williams. And I was
I mean,
what the fuck?
Yeah, and I think also we did see him against Ohio State.
Yes.
We saw him the most against Ohio State, but
and then none since pretty much.
But I think also what we were told too was he was dealing with some
a nagging little injury.
Yeah, so I mean, you also think about that. You don't need to rush him back against Arizona or
so we thought.
Well, I mean, for Arizona fan, we had penalties that killed drives.
Oh, for sure. I was just making my little joke.
Yeah, no, I mean, and that's the thing is every game fan, we've got to remember that you can be driving the field like you were against Cal, fumble.
Mm-hmm.
Or the play where Hudson makes the catch and then gets up, spins the ball in 15 yards, and now Mario is all over sports TV for a week talking about was he right or wrong for talking to Hudson, Houston like that. But it's little dynamic and intricacies in every game that play a major part. But it's a beautiful thing to see for the fact that where we are with the injuries we have on defense, and our offense is starting to look like it's trying to turn that corner into excel and, accelerate uphill. If they accelerate uphill, man, it's over. Like if that offense gets clicking, and if they keep using the 3 backs, 7 and Cardwell and Dye, I think Benson needs to start getting some more touches too, because he looks like he's going to be a bull.
What do you think if Dollars gets back?
I
think you save him for next year, personally.
And that's my thing too, is
because he'll be the bell cow next year.
That, and we got to think about the fact that we have players that are hurt. We don't need to rush them back.
Yeah. I know. I'm not saying to rush him back. I'm saying come Pac-12 championship time, playoff time, he's ready. Like he's good to go 100%. Does he get thrown into that, or do you make sure for sure he's good for next year? Because with Dye possibly being gone, there's a chance that I know Benson's playing well. I know Seven's playing well, but Dollars has been in the program longer. Dollars has shown a lot of promise as well. I would expect he's going to get a large amount of the carries next year too.
Oh yeah, dollars is if it ain't about dollars, it don't make sense, bro. Like
no, I think Dollars is nice and nice. Like,
oh yeah, I mean he showed his ability in the Pac-12 championship game last year. So that part, that's all said and done. It's just more so the injury and the rushing him back and the fact that you've got other capable bodies, so you don't have to play him right now.
Yeah.
If it's not I have to play him, or if you really must, we finna play Bama if we need Sean Dollars.
We playing Georgia, put him in.
We playing Georgia and Bama if we need Sean Dollars. Like that. There's the only way on God's green earth I'm gonna take this man who ain't played all season and put him on this field. You finna play the baddest motherfuckers on the planet. Excuse my French.
Yeah, you good.
Like that's how I look at it. Like
motherfuckers is where he crosses the line, but not stoning.
Hey, you like to get stoned, bro. You like to get stoned, okay? But I'm just being honest, man. When you think about
for sure.
The depth that we recruit at and the ability to get these players to come, we're right now playing a lot of freshmen on defense. Think about our defense for the next couple of years and where they're going to be mentally and physically.
They're going to be ready. I mean, outside of Kayvon, most everybody's going to be coming back. Michael could even come back.
Exactly.
Young defense, yeah.
Fam, honestly, bro, for some reason, I've been having an inkling, bro, that KT might spurn and shock everybody. He may come back.
Stro.
Listen, like my thing is,
you ain't got no sources on this, do you?
No sources.
You're getting his hopes up, man.
My thing is when I go back to Mario's first year as a head coach, when Ugo and Jalen and Justin
and Jordan said he coming back too,
and all of them were like, I want to come back, but we can't. Like there's like we would love to come back one more year, but we can't. Like there's like we wish we had one more year. With this staff and this coaches, like we wish we had one more year.
Yeah.
Like those guys, and those were the guys that KT saw when they beat Washington and stormed the field when he was here. Like
that's what I'm saying.
Hugo was back on campus today from what I saw or this weekend because Jenny Farber posted a picture. Like, so it only makes sense. Like the dude's paving his own path. He's paving his own destiny and he's doing it his way, and he's only done it the right way so far. And that's all you can ask for. You know, top 5 pick. I wouldn't be mad if he went. I wouldn't be mad if he came back.
Exactly.
You know, but I mean, it's like, you know, Mario's probably going to tell him, take your ass on to the NFL and get paid. If KT says, look, I know the NFL is waiting on me, but I really would like to come back.
He also getting a bag from NIL.
I mean, the NIL bag is coming regardless. And then, you know, that possibility of winning that first national championship.
I think next year really could, like, as the first year we have a real shot at winning winning a title again. Like, obviously this year there's a chance, but Georgia really is just, for me, head and shoulders above everybody else.
For us,
I think next year is the first year of it. Right before that comment though, when it comes to guys coming back, although this might get me roasted on Twitter again. Although he's been a great player for us, hot take alert, I'll put some kind of edit on that. You know who I think is a net negative if they come back just because of the situation going on behind them?
Who?
Travis Dye.
Well, I mean,
I hate to say that. I love Travis Dye. Like, his vibe, his personality, his brother, how he's played great. But you have Sean Dollars, Seven McGee, Trey Benson, Byron Cardwell, Cross Patton. You have other guys, another one guy I think coming in. I don't know, but like, it's a backed up, busy room. And given his style, we have a lot of backs with the same style of play, the physical running Travis Dye, catch the ball at the backfield type. That is what Byron Cardwell is. And I mean, the feature back, I'm hoping ends up being Dollars, but Dye, I think they were talking about this on the Odds and Audibles podcast as well. that they were hoping Dye balled out so he would go to that next level. So these other guys did get into these games next year. And we did see these guys get an influx next year. That might get me, Mount Rushmore level flamed on Twitter, but I will gladly accept that because I don't think that that's that bad of a take. Matt, what are the odds somebody like McDuffie stays?
At this rate, I don't think so. I think
What are the odds Small stays?
Smalls, well, that's a different story entirely. That's a different problem. Considering how his dad's tweeting recently, I don't know about that one. As far as
he's gonna transfer to Oregon, not a recruiting rival.
I'd be so depressed. Yeah, I'd be so depressed.
You seen what his pop said, right?
I saw what his pop said, but my thing is, fam,
how your pop's gonna say the coach need fired? That's some LeVar Ball shit.
But this is my thing, fam, is you knew the risk you were taking when you decided to go there.
Oh, for sure.
So you can't be surprised at, what is happening now, but that is why you have perseverance. That is why you overcome the adversity. And that's why I say Washington should not be so quick to fire Jimmy Lake. Let him get another offensive coordinator. Now, this is a thing Jimmy Lake has decided to do. What kind of offense do I want to run? Am I going to be a multiple offense? 1940s. But even if you're going to go old school with it, fam, you can still have some flair to it. You can still, Bama lined up in the ace back with one running back, a tight end, and 3 receivers, and still running down teams' throats.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Wisconsin's been lined up in I formation since Barry Alvarez with Ron Dane. So
Dane.
You can be competitive with it, fam. You just got to put your own spin on it. And how do you want to be able to recruit yourself outside of your academic prowess with everybody else? Because you're going to try to get more guys like McMillan. You're going to try to get more guys like Giles Jackson. You don't want Giles Jackson to just transfer to you. You want to get Giles Jackson fresh out of high school like Xavier Worth.
Yeah.
You want to keep Puka Nacua.
You want to keep Puka. You want that. So he's got to sit down and think, what do I want to do in this aspect? I want to be able to run the ball because you got decent running backs. You're getting decent running backs. I want to be able to also pass the ball. I want to be balanced. So you got to decide on, do I get a spread-minded offensive coordinator or do I get somebody with a pro-style background and try to tailor it to my way?
I think the focus should be a little different. I'm going to go back to what has also circled the college football headlines earlier this week with what Kirby Smart said. Could be a great coach, but if the other guy's got better players, he's probably going to beat you. And
first of all,
what's the best, what's the big name? Like, who's a good recruit? Like, name a good recruiter on Washington staff.
I don't know. Lake, when he wasn't the head coach, was actually a half decent recruiter.
Lake can recruit DBs.
Yeah, for sure.
What are you guys recruiting? Who's recruiting well on your staff, and who's known to recruit outside of Lake? Let's say who's known to recruit well on your staff.
I don't think they're known as recruiters. I think Huff recruits pretty decently, from what it sounds like. Or wait, no, Huff. Outside of that, and
so let's just take
nobody. No matter what, nobody jumps off the page. Yeah. So that's it. It proves your point.
And I was listening to Josh Pate's podcast earlier, and he made a great metaphor, I think, for this earlier. He said, you put Danny Hamlin in a little hatchback, and you put Matt Schwaz in the Gravedigger, and just because Danny Hamlin's a better driver than you, guess what? Matt's winning because he's got those better. Like 11 of Georgia's players are 5 stars. Half of their starting 22 are 5 stars.
Yeah.
You're the more talented team. I know coaching is huge. And obviously Oregon had Chip Kelly where we outcoached talent so many times. But unless you have one of those innovative offenses or defense, something new that people haven't seen, people can't scheme against, you're most, I'd say 8 times out of 10, you're going to lose to the team more talented than you.
I could see that. Also, now I have that image in my head. I want to drive a monster truck. So thanks for that.
Yeah. So it's, I think the biggest issue is they have nobody, most of the blueprints. Time out. Go ahead.
Where is the purple car this mug was revving up a couple years ago?
The purple what?
The purple car Jimmy was revving up. Remember the GIF and picture and video of Jimmy in the purple car revving the car up? The Challenger?
Oh.
This man has more personality in those 3 Twitter videos than he's ever had anywhere else.
That and then the plane ride and the boat ride when you had JTT in town.
Yeah.
Where is that every week?
This is the stuff he should be doing with the recruits in town.
With everybody, yeah.
No matter who it is, bro. Show them Seattle. Show them the view from the water. Show them you got nice whips. You like to have a good time.
I mean, hell, you advertise it on everything anyways. Might as well take him around the damn place.
Hell, Texas is running around saying all gas, no brakes and blowing leads to Oklahoma when they up 28-7 and shit. So, I mean, why not? You know? They can't even close out Baylor. So I'm saying, like, why not?
It's effort.
Do effort. And this is what I always said when I told people about how Mario was going to be able to recruit is you tap into your resources. Fam, The Sixth Man was a movie made about Washington basketball. Y'all should be using that for basketball.
Yeah, don't even get me started on basketball. Oh my God, we could spend another hour.
Animal House is leveraged by Oregon. When the Game Stands Tall gets leveraged by Oregon. All American gets leveraged by Oregon. I didn't even know that movie existed until Stromino just mentioned it.
What?
Whatever movie you just said. Never heard
of it. The Sixth Man? Oh, it's a movie back in the 1990s with Marlon Wayans and Kadeem Hardison.
See, and yeah, Oregon has them older movies, but they market them. Like in the 2014 thing with Marcus Mariota, they have that Animal House clips. I haven't, to be fair, I haven't seen Washington market much of anything. But like when they'll send out a tweet with like Costco on it, or they'll send out like
Costco.
Or they'll send out a tweet of Jimmy Lake on a boat, and the recruits are probably still sitting on the dock, like, "Yo, what the hell?" Like,
why is this man at the water, man? We out here just sitting on the dock of the bay.
They're watching him film it, like, "Hey, what's going on over there?"
I was talking to a USC fan. I don't know if you guys know LA Sports God on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
He downplayed the effects of social media, but you know it's kind of coincidental. You know who has some of the best social media teams in the Pac-12? They happen to be the 3 best teams in the conference right now, or in my opinion, the 3 best teams in the conference: Oregon, Oregon State, and Arizona State. And
UCLA stepping up their game too.
They're recruiting at some of the best levels. UCLA stepping up their game.
Arizona State benefited from the Herm Edwards and Antonio Pierce effect.
For sure. Then they
got it.
Put more effort into it monetarily.
Well, I mean, of course, because first of all, ASU has money put into it. They're getting good uniforms. They're getting state-of-the-art facilities. They have Adidas contracts. So they got that part. But you still got to tap into
Adidas in Seattle Lake.
But you still gotta tap into your resources, fam. Like you still gotta showcase the high points of the school. Like for us, we benefit from having, the great facilities and we're in Oregon. I've been to Oregon. I'm from Michigan. Oregon's scenery is one of a kind.
I was
like beautiful nature.
Did you see the destroying video that was posted about our facilities?
Yeah.
He played for UCF, one of the newest and biggest campuses out of any college ever, anywhere. And he came and called our facilities a fine art museum.
Yeah.
Yes, Oregon doesn't have Seattle to sell like Washington does. But guess what? They sell everything they got pretty damn well. They sell it fucking amazingly. Washington has everything to sell and sells none of it.
This is what I'm gonna tell you, like. It's a terrible reference, but shake what your mama gave you.
This man,
like you fam. I grew up in the 90s. As you can tell, I'm a black man in America, so I'm gonna keep it real with you. We talk about big booties and big breastises, bro, but like I'm giving you a reference. Though I'm giving you a reference.
Yeah. I know where you're going.
So listen to me. So listen to me. So you use what you got. It may not be the biggest, it may not be the prettiest, but you use what you got to get you where you're going. Like it don't sound right, but you get what I'm saying, fam. Like
what you're saying.
If you have Mont Lake in the greatest setting in college football,
you don't show it off.
If I'm UW, I would actually like to have more night games than day games.
Yeah.
So there's
on that setting,
there's a
with
double-edged
those
sword
lights
to that.
reflecting off that lake at night, and y'all have a purple out, a black out. Hell, bust out some gold jerseys with purple numbers on them, some bitches.
See, but then there's a double-edged sword to that, because then there is a penalty to doing that. Ratings are money, and obviously it seems like UW cares a lot more about their academics, and they're more hesitant to put in resources to the athletic programs as they once were. So when you're doing something like that, obviously the setting would be beautiful. I think it would be amazing. I'd love to see it myself, but there's a cost. There's obviously a cost to doing everything. And that cost would be a limited viewership they already get dwindled.
I think it's something worth noting too, though, that with the new Pac-12 commissioner, I think those are risks that they're going to want to take.
Yes,
he's willing to take those chances, but you also got to think about it, fam. When USC was in its heyday, bro, people were staying up late to watch them because they were winning national championships.
I stay up late to watch
Reggie Bush and Mel. You have to have something that draws their attention.
For sure.
We have KT. We had Mariota. Who else is like that in the conference?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, Marshawn,
you don't have the
Cal. I know people out here who stayed up late to watch Marshawn,
running back at Steven Jackson at Oregon State.
Yeah. Fucking what's his name? The wide receiver at Oregon State.
Which one?
Steve Smith.
Steve Smith, Chad Ochocinco, Husmanzada.
I love Ocho, bro.
You know, we talking Arizona State, fam. Heck, when they had the Derby.
Hey Matt.
What's up?
For lost Washington in the playoff hunt still?
Yes, 100%. Ship it. Making history.
First 4-loss team in the college football playoff ever?
First 4-loss team in the playoff. Book it, Sharpie, ink it.
I will give you guys one thing. I think you are better than one team currently ranked in the college football playoff rankings. One team. Mississippi State. Mike Leach.
Nice. There you go. Well, we own that man, so you know.
We do not.
Yeah.
That man.
Hey, we beat him last time we played him, though.
We did beat him. We ended it on a positive note, but also
that
game, Max Borghi fucking was going on
almost 4,000 days. So
yeah, I love how you guys talk shit about us like copying shit, and then that account is literally based off of an Oregon account that used to be ran against Washington days since UW beat Oregon.
Well, I don't know. The count's still more for us against Wazoo than you guys against Washington.
Yeah,
so.
No. The account was originally ran when it was like.
Oh, I don't know. That account's been around for a while still, though, hasn't it?
Yeah, the Oregon account went deactive, I think, a few years ago.
Yeah, I wasn't around for that.
But
at least not active on Twitter.
So Matt, do you as a Washington fan, I know the Pac-12 needs representation, but as a Washington fan, how do you feel about Oregon controlling their own destiny to the playoff?
As much as I hate to say it, I mean, I think the one thing the committee got right is about the spot they put Oregon. I would have put them at 5 or 6 probably, but I still think them ahead of Ohio State's correct. I think them controlling their own destiny is good. Oregon's now in a position where they feel like they're in control, whereas before the rankings, they really didn't because they thought the committee was going to screw them, which honestly, like I thought the same thing. I think it's good for the conference because it shows whoever beats Oregon is a legit team. And you could argue that the competition when everybody's beating each other now, with Oregon kind of being that standard set this season, at least, like it shows that the conference is good competition, even if there's a champ with 2-3 losses coming out of the conference, which, Oregon has 1 loss, but there's still technically a chance because, UW, Wazoo, you guys still play Wazoo, correct?
The Wazoo is the game I'm most worried about.
Yeah, and especially with how they look.
Mm-hmm. Wazoo at home,
and then we go to Utah.
Utah, they're very volatile when it comes to how their quarterback plays. Their offense is hit and miss. Obviously, their defense, their trenches are normally pretty solid. Kyle Whittingham is a really good coach. Washington State, for no fucking reason, is playing really good football. They
don't have a head coach. They don't have half their coaching staff right now. They almost just beat BYU without half of their coaches.
Most Pac-12 shit I have ever fucking seen.
Pac-12 after dark is just special.
They're playing inspired, bro. Like last year when we saw the Washington State team in Pullman last year, that quarterback, he's actually a good ass quarterback. That dude is underrated for being a sophomore. That dude's underrated. He's like Jaden Daniels good, but he might be better than Jaden Daniels. Like under the radar, better than Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels, nice.
So he's just at Washington State, and they're battling BYU, who's top 25 or was top 25. They beat Arizona State at Arizona State. They're in the top 25. They should have beat Utah. Like, it's so crazy. Is the kid that got shot from Utah, I think he had the game sealing interception that game or something.
Devin Lloyd, yes.
Yeah. I saw that happen, like that whole situation. I was like, yo, this is wild, because like Wazoo was finna go score.
Mm-hmm.
He picks the ball off and Utah scores, and the game's just out, and Utah wins, and it's like, yo, Wazoo's like, Wazoo?
They're good.
Yeah.
I hate to say it. They're good. They are good.
It's really going to be interesting to see how the rest of the Pac-12 season plays out.
Honestly.
I think most Pac-12 fans, as much as they would all hate to say it, probably expect Oregon to win out and make the playoff.
Well, they're letting everybody down if they don't at this point. So,
I mean, some people were a lot more concerned with the defense after Colorado than the actual, numbers should lead you to believe that the concern level should be. But, we'll see as the games start to play out. Speaking of some big games, Stro, I have a question for you. Are you going to be in Atlanta next year?
Yes, that is the plan. The goal is to be in Atlanta. ATL Shouty.
ATL Shouty. Matt,
ATL Shouty.
You're going to a big game here soon, I believe, right? There's a game at I think CFB home tweeted should be game day or something.
Yeah, in Montana.
Yeah.
Yeah, that team that we joke about that beat the Huskies, I'm actually going to watch Montana State.
he's gonna go watch a real football team.
Sorry, watching the real home of Husky football.
Oh, they are your dad. That's
apparently tough. Yeah. I'm actually excited for that though. I love FCS small college type football, so
that should be good.
Should be fun.
Dude, I'm with you on that.
For any Ducks fans who go to the Atlanta game, if we all link up, I will buy everyone one drink. It'll be fun.
I'm gonna tell you like this, because Texas Live was crazy.
Yeah.
That's how I met Pickett's parent. I met his dad, met some of his family.
Man, I hope Pickett ain't there. He gonna jump my.
I met Lindsay, Sawyer. I met Mimi Duck. It was so crazy.
Lindsay's one of the ones who posted my picture.
Oh God. Like, bro,
Minecraft YouTuber, by the way.
Oh, that guy.
Oh gosh,
bro,
dude,
I love my timeline. It is the most entertaining shit ever.
Your timeline, dude. Your timeline,
yeah.
Fam,
what's wrong with my timeline, Stro?
My timeline, I'm like, yo, what the hell they say today, fam? somebody done piss somebody else somewhere.
Yeah, I was gonna say, every time you open Twitter, you find out who Mike decided to piss off today, and
is Mike Key and Mike Key and who's the other one?
You talking about Keyshawn?
Keyshawn. Who else?
Amir.
Yes, like, bro, TV, like, I woke up at 4:45 in the morning for work. Key done said some crazy shit. 4 o'clock.
Well, it's because we're out west, bro.
And then you got Key done went and found tweets from like 6 hours ago from like 5 different Husky fans and just straight talk shit.
I swear Key doesn't sleep, bro.
6 o'clock in the morning. Key's already going to war. People just waking up, getting boogers on the Key already sending grenades. Fuck you, Doug. Y'all ain't like, bam. Here come Mike. Yeah, we need to play Ty Thompson. We need to play Ty Thompson.
Hold on. I never said Ty Thompson. I just said anybody but Brown. I have been on.
I
The
guarantee
Ashford,
you, we can find a clip in the stream.
Find one.
or,
I've been on
the old
Ashford train.
episodes.
I've been on the Ashford train since day one.
And you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, fam. Ashford gives me Dennis Dixon vibes.
He gives me Vernon Adams vibes.
The reason why I say Dennis Dixon is because the dual threat possibility.
Oh, that's it.
Dude's 6'3" and about 230 and probably runs about a 4.5 40.
Baseball player.
And can sling the rock. So I mean, for us next year is really gonna be Mario's true year to see how he is as the head coach, because he's gonna have his own quarterback.
Yep. If we don't make the
Most
playoffs
of
next year, that's a disappointment.
The thing right now is we can't focus on that because we got to finish this year.
Yeah, you guys got to make the playoff this year.
Well, see, this year wasn't expected because we all honestly, like, we all didn't think this was, we were quite, because we had Anthony
First
Brown.
of all, time out. They all expected us to lose Ohio State, and I told they ass for an entire week we wasn't going to lose. No,
Mike.
I told you, and I told everybody else we was going to beat Ohio State. I said it. I was on Twitter. You can go check it. They didn't believe me. No, we going to lose Ohio State, bro. We don't think we going to beat them because Anthony Brown quarterback. Fam, we going to beat Ohio State.
I said we would win in spite of Anthony Brown, but he didn't put us in a bad position that game. So, I'll at least take the credit for saying we were going to win, but
it was very not confident.
Yeah.
I add.
I thought we were going to win in
Zero
spite
confidence.
of Brown.
It was definitely the homer, like, yeah, we're going to win, but, like what I went through earlier with the...
The way Ohio State played against Minnesota really bolstered my confidence a little bit in that a bad quarterback could beat Ohio State.
Minnesota's not a bad team besides that Bowling Green loss.
But my thing is with Minnesota, fam, is Tanner Morgan's been there for 3 years now?
35.
Seems like 8.
he got to Minnesota when CJ Verdell got to Oregon.
Like, basically, and Verdell got better as a running back, but Tanner Morgan, how did you go 6 of 18 passing against Ohio State?
Good to bad.
Yes, and I'm like, how did you regress? And you have one of the best rushing attacks. Even if your best running back got hurt, Minnesota's always got a decent running back.
Exactly.
I don't trust both quarterbacks, man.
So,
I don't trust both quarterbacks. So, I've always been suspicious of Morgan.
I don't trust bald head coaches.
Flick.
Okay, with that, I think we'll call it.
He was almost our coach, bro. That's just messed up, man. It was just like I was like, I already knew who it was when you said it, bro. That's terrible. Oh man.
Fair. That's fair.
It's a beautiful thing, man, to think about it though, because the way football looked last year, because we knew Bama was head and shoulders ahead of everybody, to now is like it's wide open, man.
Yeah. Oh, it is. And Stro, I do want to thank you for coming on the Ducks and Dogs podcast.
For sure, man.
Talking about ass, titties, stonings, and bald coaches.
The Middle East was brought up. It was
wait. This is the second take. So the first
you can imagine what everybody missed out on from our first take. Yeah. Oh man.
Thank you for
it's
coming
been a
on.
blast though, man. For sure, bro.
It's been fun having you. I have not laughed this much in an episode until today.
No.
Your @ is going to be right below your name on the stream for your Twitter. You want to tell everyone your Instagram @ and where else they can find you and, what you got going on?
Well, I mean, I'm just your friendly neighborhood B-Stro.
Super fan.
This dude is super fan. Look, you can find me on Instagram as B-Stro3642.
Clipperdale
you can
or
find
B-Stro.
Or you can find me on Twitter at Stromio1. Hit me up, shoot me a message. I'm down to talk sports with it, whoever, whenever, all day. People DM me. I'm serious. I have so many conversations about Duck football with so many people in my DMs, fam. You'd be surprised.
How many Baby Yodas?
Dude, let's not talk about please. Like, dude, you had like that was like
That's the same thing as having that little skull avatar nowadays.
Like, fam, like when Skoda happened, bro, it was lovely.
But now it's terrible.
Oh,
It's terrible.
God.
It's so bad.
Oh gosh, bro.
Man,
It is
Smitty
like,
created a monster.
he was like, bro, I just need you to tweet this. And I was like, all right, fam. He's like, come up with a name. I was like, okay.
Skoda.
And it took off like a rocket because me and him was like, bro, let's see how this goes. Like, oh shit. And then after the season, it was like, oh shit. What did we do?
It's literally that Punisher skull version of.
Oh, bro. I mean, I love it at the time, bro, because that was peak. We had coaches and everybody, but
it was
now
it was on ESPN for game day.
ESPN. We were trending worldwide on Twitter for like 48 hours.
And that's also one thing, look at that. Oregon's fan base, national, got shit trending. But it's all good things must come to an end. Sadly, that has not come to an end yet.
Yeah, UW Twitter gets trending for the wrong reasons. So.
UW Twitter goes trending. The only time they go trending is when they're talking about Oregon.
Yeah, or when Oregon quote tweets a UW tweet. Like Oregon Twitter quote tweets UW.
Wait, so hate week is turned into we hate our coach 2 week.
Yeah, it's not even fun for Oregon fans anymore because Washington fans have turned on their program to the point where
they literally just joined the fans. Like, we can't stand this dude either.
Look, man, we hate you guys, but like we have some common ground here. Maybe we're not all that different from each other.
Maybe look, they might be. Look, please blow us out so he can go.
Guess what?
Please put us out of our misery.
Guess what, though, guys? Guess what, though? Hood Husky says that was a good quote. End of story. It's over. We win.
We gotta have him on the show, man. We need to pick his brain. Bad. We gotta pick his brain.
I just need to know how.
Yeah. Hood Husky, if you're listening, we love you, dog. We love you, dog.
Recruiting is great. we didn't want Troy Franklin anyways.
Hey, he's actually transferring. He's coming to Washington after the game.
JTT too.
He's going to transfer after the game?
Yeah.
JTT. What about a Mecca?
Well, he's a lost cause. We'll get the other two, though. It's fine.
He said he's a lost cause guy.
Josh Connerly.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Don't worry. We'll get him off the tarmac from Michigan, too. It's fine.
I want to thank you guys for watching. We hope to see you next time on the Ducks and Dogs podcast. And until then, my name is Mike, signing off. Oregon by 30. Go Ducks.
Go Ducks.
Go Ducks.